So South Africa is on high alert as it anticipates another outbreak of brown locusts. We speak now to Roger Price. He's the research team manager at the Agricultural Research Council. Roger, thank you very much for joining us this afternoon. So what is it that we know about the situation? Any cause for concern?
Yes, it is a cause for concern. This is the first major outbreak we've had for about 10 years. And the locusts are very swarming at the moment, and they're damaging the felts and grazing, and there is a threat of damage to crops as well. So it is not a huge outbreak, but it is a cause for concern, and it's still got a couple of months to run before the end of the summer season.
Where exactly are we experiencing this outbreak, and what does, or perhaps what kind of land is it? Is it a place where we get some of our food from?
Yes, the main outbreak at the moment is in the central and upper Karoo, which is grazing land mainly for sheep. So the farmers have had a drought for many years in that part of the Karoo, and now they've had good rains this season, which has brought out the grass, but it's also brought out the locusts. So the grazing capacity of the veldt has been damaged, and it has added hardships to the farmers.
Is there something similar to what we saw in Northern Africa and East Africa and Kenya, for example, in terms of those locusts? Would we say that this is a plague, or we're not there yet? We're
a different species from the desert locust up in North Africa, but locust outbreaks are driven by unusual weather conditions. And in North Africa, there was various cyclones that came into Ethiopia and Eritrea and those sort of places that set the outbreak off. Here in the Karoo, we had a long series of droughts followed by good rains. So the drought-breaking rains brought out the locusts that had built up in numbers in the soil for a number of years. So it's weather-driven. And but the brown locust is more of a desert-adapted species, and whereas the desert locust follows the rain. Ours reacts to the rain.
So you say this is the worst outbreak we've had in 10 years. Just how much damage can these little guys do?
Well, the damage, it's devastating to farmers that have to rely on the grass to feed their sheep. So locusts can eat a lot of grass indeed. If the locusts get out of the Karoo and damage grain crops, they can cause severe damage. Just before Christmas, there was a number of swarms were flying out of the Karoo and heading towards Bloemfontein and Lesotho, and they had to be rapidly tracked down and controlled before they caused damage. But if they get into maize crops or sorghum crops, they can seriously cause some damage.
Are we confident that we can deal with this latest outbreak?
The latest outbreak is, as I say, it's quite on a large scale. The problem with locust outbreaks is that over the years we lose the institutional knowledge, the expertise, and to control these things. So when they suddenly arrive, it's an emergent situation. We have new people have to be trained up, new supplies have to be put in place. So there is a delay when we react to locust outbreaks that don't occur every year. And but we're handling it very well now. The Department of Agriculture is getting on top of it, but it's in such a remote area, over a wide area, that it's difficult to stop the swarms from forming and flying.
Has any major damage been reported by farmers?
There's been localized damage to crops, planted crops, but the main damage is to grazing. The department hasn't had major reports of crop damages yet, because the swarms are being kept inside the Karoo, which is not a crop-growing area.
Thank you very much, Roger, for your time. Roger Price speaking to us there about the outbreak of locusts. He's a research team manager at the Agricultural Research Council.